श्रीला गुरु महाराज।
हरे
प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्ण माता
हरे
दंडवत प्रणाम।
हरे
हरे कृष्णा माता जी।
हरे
ऑल ग्लोरीज टू श्रीला
कृष्णा
प्रभुपाद,
माता जी।
ऑल ग्लोरीज टू श्रीला जयपताका स्वामी गुरु महाराज। हरे
हरे
कृष्णा।
कृष्णा माता जी। हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्णा माता जी। हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्ण माता जी।
Mataji, we are in the class already. See, Mataji, I'm offering this lotus flower in the lotus feet of Lord Shri Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा माता जी धन्यवाद
हरे
प्रणाम।
कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्णा माता जी। हरि बोल।
हरे कृष्णा माता जी। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू श्रीला प्रभुपाद, ऑल ग्लोरीज टू श्रीला गुरु महाराज। हरे बोल।
हरे कृष्णा। So, Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to day one of our Bhisma Panchak Challenge. So, yesterday we just had our introduction of the Bhisma Panchak, like the glories of Bhisma Panchak and Kartik, and explaining more about the challenge. And today, in around like 20 minutes, His Holiness Candramauli Swami is going to be joining us. And he's going to speak about the glories of chanting the holy name. So, we're so fortunate to receive Maharaj's divine association. I just want to hear in the chat box, I want to see who has completed their activities for today. So we have our 5 activities, which is chanting japa, offering lamp, reciting Bhisma Stuti, singing Damodar Ashtakam, and hearing Krishna Katha. And even if you didn't finish all, it's okay. We're still going to do most of these activities together in the Sangha now. Okay. Yeah, some of you are waiting to do it in the Sangha. I completely understand. I would also want to do with everyone as well. And so again, just a reminder that we're starting our fasting tomorrow. So tomorrow Ekadashi, and tomorrow will be the day that we can offer a lotus flower to the lotus feet of the Lord. So if you cannot get a lotus flower, you don't know, then you can always offer in your mind. And then also tomorrow you can, if you're living near the Ganga, residing near the Ganga, then you can offer Tarpana to Bhishma Dev. And from today, actually all these days, but throughout your life, whenever you're bathing, taking a bath, you can call out Ganga Ganga 3 times. And it's as if we're bathing in Mother Ganga herself as well. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm so inspired to see so many of you chanting, going to Mangalarti, seeing Damodar Ashtakam, offering lamp. Wow, 32 rounds. Haribol. And I just before we start, I just wanted to again just emphasize a little bit. I put up a video today. I don't know how many of you were able to watch it, but I was just explaining how more than just, a checklist of items. Okay, we did all of this, which is very wonderful. And Srila Rupa Goswami explains how we can do devotional service so that we can engage our body, mind, and senses in the Lord's service. But also, we should remember that devotional service is not only about what we do, but inside as well, like our heart and how much love we're offering and the mood that we're doing everything in. Because the reason why we're doing this whole challenge, the reason why we're doing all these activities is so that we can always remember Krishna and we can please him, we can love him and never forget him. So this is the main reason, the most important ingredient why we're doing this whole challenge. Okay, so now let's start with just going to share my screen. Let me know the thumbs up if you're able to see it. Okay, perfect. So the first thing that we'll do is we'll request blessings from Srila Prabhupada, and then hopefully you have your japa mala ready. We'll chant 1 round of japa together. So let's invoke the blessings of Srila Prabhupada. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatyadesh Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So now just unmute, allow everyone to unmute so that we can chant japa together. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda
शादी को वक्त कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण राम हरे हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram,
राम हरे हरे
Hare Krishna, Krishna
हरे
Krishna,
हरे हरे राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण
Krishna Krishna, Krishna
हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण
Krishna
राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम राम हरे कृष्ण राम हरे हरे राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare
Ram
Hare.
Ram Ram Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Ram,
Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram Ram
Hare Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
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 Ram,
Hare Ram
Ram, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Hare.
Hare Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare 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 Ram
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare
Hare Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna 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 Hare
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram Hare
Hare Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Hare
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 Hare.
Ram 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 Hare Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare.
Ram
Shri
Hare
Krishna
Ram Ram
Chaitanya
Ram
Prabhu
Hare
Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Shri Gaura Bhakti.
Hare
Thank you everyone so much for engaging in this chanting, and now our chanting will hopefully get into an even deeper level with His Holiness Chandramauli Swami's guidance. And also, if you have any questions about chanting or any other questions, you can think about them, and then we'll try to get as many answered as possible. But we're a lot, so we'll try to filter through as many questions as we can. Let me just... So now we're going to chant the Bhisma Stuti, which are like 10 verses from the Srimad Bhagavatam. So these are a set of prayers that Bhishma Dev offered to the Lord as he lay on the bed of arrows in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So as he was preparing to leave his body, he was expressing his love for Krishna. So as we know, prayer is not just about asking the Lord what we need, what we want, or please, bless me so that I can have a nice house, or please bless me, to get married, or please bless me to get good marks in an exam, or to get this job. Because a lot of the time, prayer is said, it's publicated to be like that, to ask God for things. But Krishna is not just, we go to the shop and we just ask for a list of things. Prayer is so much more than that. So the 5 parts of prayer is like, one is, expressing to Krishna how much we love him, expressing to him why we're grateful for him, how amazing and awesome he is. Also, of course, we can ask for help, and then also apologizing for our mistakes. So if we see like Krishna, as I was saying yesterday, he wants us to develop a personal relationship with him. So how would we feel if we had, a best friend, really good friend, but we only spoke to them when we needed something? So then that's why, of course, it's okay to ask your best friend for help. We do need to speak to Krishna about everything, but friendship is not only about that. With your best friend, you also tell them why you appreciate them, why you love them. You ask for help, but you also apologize for your mistakes, or you glorify them and tell them how amazing they are. So just to keep in mind when we are praying to the Lord, and we can make it actually one of our practices. So prayer of Vandanam is one of the 9 processes of bhakti. And Srila Prabhupada explains, Srila Rupa Goswami explains how even by performing one of these processes of bhakti, we can attain love for Krishna. We can achieve prema. So praying is a very important practice. And we study the prayers from these great personalities in the Srimad Bhagavatam, because they are perfected the art of prayer so that we can also learn how to pray. So we can see that in these prayers, as we read through them, how Bhishma Dev is glorifying the Lord and also requesting his mercy to always be, to always love him, be engaged in his service. So what we're going to do, we're just going to go through the Sanskrit, and then we'll read a few shlokas, and then tomorrow we'll read another few verses. So if you have your Srimad Bhagavatam, then Canto 1, Chapter 9, starting from text 32, you can bring it up, because I see Daksh Prabhu, he's already ready with his Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, so let's chant together. Shri Bhishma Vacha Iti Matirupakalpita Vitrishna Bhagavati Satvata Pungave Vibhumni Swasukam Upagate Kvachid Vihartum Prakritim Upayushi Yadbhava Pravaha Tribhuvana Kamanam Tamala Varnam Ravi Karagauravara Ambharam Dadhane Vapuralaka Kulavrittananabjam Vijaya Sakerati me Navadya Yudi Turaga Rajovidumra Vishvak Kachalulita Shamavarya Lankritasye Mama Nishita Sharer Vibidhyamana Vachi Vilasat Kavachestu Krishna Atma Sapadi Saki Vachoni Shamyamadye Nija Parayor Balayoratam Niveshya Stitavati Para Sainika Yurakshna Kritavati Parta Sakeratir Mamastu Vyavahita Pritanamukam Nirikshya Svajana Vadad Vimukasya Dosha Buddhya Kumate Maharad Atma Vidyaya Yash Charanarati Paramasya Tasya Mestu Swanigamam Apahaya Matpradigyanam Ritam Adikartum Avapluto Ratashta Ritarata Charano Dhyaya Chaladgur Harir Iva Hantumibham Gatotariya Shita Vishika Hato Vishirna Dhamsha Shataja Pariplutta Atatayinu Me Prasabam Abhishasara Madvadartam Sabhavatu Me Bhagavan Gatir Mukunda Vijaya Rata Kutamba Atatotre Dritahaya Rasmini Tachi Ekshaniye Bhagavati Ratirastu Me Mumurshor Yamiha Nirikshya Hatagata Swarupam Lalita Gati Vilasa Valguhasa Pranaya Nirikshana Kalpito Rumana Kritam Anukrita Vatya Unmadanda Prakritim Agankila Yasya Gopavadva Munigana Nripavarya Sankulen Anta Sadasi Yudhishthira Rajasuya Esham Arhanam Upapeda Ikshaniyo Mamadishi Gochara Esha Aviratma Tam Imam Aham Ajam Sharira Bhajam Hridi Hridi Dishtitam Atmakalpitanam Ratidrisham Iva Naikatarkam Ekam Samadhigatosmi Vidhutabedamoha. So we can read like maybe 3 verses. So would anybody like to read this first one? You can raise your hand. Okay, Shivani Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanvat Pranams.
Krishna.
Translation. Bhishma Dev said, "Let me now invest my thinking, feeling and willing, which was so long engaged in different subjects and occupational duties, in the all-powerful Lord Sri Krishna. He is always self-satisfied, but sometimes, being the leader of the devotees, he enjoys transcendental pleasure by descending to the material world, although from him only the material world is created."
Thank you, Mataji. So this verse, as we know, Bhishma Dev was, he was engaged in, all these like with the Kauravas, and he had to do so many duties, and he himself, although he wanted to be in the Pandavas team side for the battlefield of Kurukshetra, he had to choose the side of the Kauravas because of his responsibilities. And he's explaining here how Krishna, he's self-satisfied. Actually, Krishna does not, he does not need us to offer, like he does not need our service, but it's more like he wants our service. He wants us to show our love and that opportunity of that personal relationship. And as we know, Krishna, he's the personification of love. He's love personified. He's always around, he's always surrounded by his devotees, whether he is, with Mother Yashoda and Nanda Baba, or he's with the cows in the forest, or with the monkeys, or the peacocks, or with the cowherd boys, with the gopis, Srimati Radharani. Krishna's always surrounded by his devotees. And this is actually one of his qualities. So as we know, there are 64 main qualities that Krishna possesses. And us jivas, us souls, we can have 50 of these qualities, of course, in much smaller amounts. But there are 4 qualities that only Krishna has. No one else has. No other incarnation. Lord Narayan does not have it. Brahma, Shiva, no one else has it other than Krishna. And one of these qualities is that Krishna is always surrounded by his devotees. Everything that Krishna does, all of his pastimes, it's all about reciprocating with that love of his devotees. If we actually think about it, everything that Krishna does is for his devotees or to make them happy. So this is just one beautiful quality of Krishna. And personally, one of my main reasons why I love Krishna is how he's love personified. Okay, so now we can have Tunga Vidya, Gop Kumar, and Nil Madhav reading the next translation.
Sri Krishna is the intimate friend of Arjuna. He has appeared on this earth in his transcendental body, which resembles the bluish color of the Tamala tree. His body attracts everyone in the 3 planetary systems, upper, middle, and lower. May his glittering yellow dress and his lotus face, covered with paintings of sandalwood pulp, be the object of my attraction, and may I not desire fruitive results.
Thank you. So here we can see how Bhishma Dev is glorifying the Lord's beauty, and in the end he's requesting, please may I not desire any fruitive results. I just want to think of you. So also one of the other qualities of Krishna that no one else has is that Krishna's incomparable beauty. So here Bhishma Dev is describing his yellow dress and his lotus face and how his complexion is like bluish color of a tamal tree. And now we can have Satyabhama and Krishna Lila.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanvat Pranam. On the battlefield where Sri Krishna attended Arjuna out of friendship, the flowing hair of Lord Krishna turned ashen due to the dust raised by the hooves of the horses, and because of his labor, beads of sweat wetted his face. All these decorations, intensified by the wounds dealt by my sharp arrows, were enjoyed by him. Let my mind thus go on to Sri Krishna.
Thank you, girls. So here, Bhishma Dev is, because Bhishma Dev, his relationship with Krishna, so there are different kinds of relationships we can have with Krishna. So we want, yesterday I was mentioning a little bit. So Bhishma Dev has this chivalrous relationship with Krishna. So, and Krishna also likes to play, he likes to fight. So then Krishna, he did not feel like the sharp arrows were paining him. For him, it was as if Bhishma Dev was throwing lotus flowers on him. He was enjoying so much. So the special relationship that Krishna had with Bhishma Dev. And Bhishma is imagining this beautiful, moment of, Krishna with his flowing hair covered with, ashes and dust, and how, he was trying to protect Arjuna and he lifted, the chariot wheel. So this was like such a beautiful scene to witness. And Bhishma Dev is meditating on Krishna's form in this way. And as we know also, the 9 processes of bhakti that I was describing in the beginning. So one of the processes is being Krishna's friend. So the personality that exemplifies this process of bhakti is Arjuna. And here we can see how Bhishma Dev is thinking of Krishna, how Krishna broke his vow. He broke his vow in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. He said he will not fight, but he broke this vow to protect his devotee Arjuna, because they were like the best of friends. And there was another point that I wanted to say. It was okay, if I think of it, I'll come back to it. The point that I wanted to say is that Krishna, even though he's the supreme personality of Godhead, he took the role of being Arjuna's charioteer, and because of his love and friendship. And Arjuna had to actually even kick his feet to try to tell Krishna go right, go left. So this is a beautiful relationship that Krishna has with his devotees, and he doesn't want us to just worship him or just see him as just awe and reverence, but he wants us to have a closer, more personal relationship with him. So we discussed 3 verses. Tomorrow we'll continue the other few. And I'm just going to check now if His Holiness Candramauli Swami is with us, the Sangha, if he has joined yet. Okay, not yet. So if anybody has maybe a group of you, if you have like Mridanga Harmonia or you would like to lead the Damodarashtakam, maybe you could raise your hand. Or you don't have to have harmonium Mridanga. I'm just saying as a... Okay, let's see. There's... Is Shivani Mataji?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. So we'll just chant. We'll all be muted because we'll all be singing along with you. And then you can chant maybe 2, 3 Maha Mantras, and then yes. Chandramauli Swami is calling now, so he's going to join, so then you can continue, Mataji. I'll be muted.
Namamishwaram Sad Chidanandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Namamishwaram Sad Chidanandarupam लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले व्रजमानं यशोदमियोलुकालाघवमानं यशोदमियोलुकालाघवमानं परामृष्टमत्यन्तदोदृतगोप्य परामृष्टमत्यन्तदोदृतगोप्य रुदन्तमुहुर्नेत्रयुग्मं मृजन्तं करम्बोजयुग्मेन सातङ्कनेत्रं मुहुश्वसकं पतिरेकाककण्ठ स्थितग्रैवदामोदरं भक्तिबद्धम् इति दृक्ष्वलीलाभे आनन्दकुण्डे स्वघोषनिमज्नन्तम् आख्यापयन्तं तदीशितज्ञेषु भक्तैर्जितत्वं पुनः प्रेमतस्तं सतावृत्ति वन्दे वरं देवमोक्षण मोक्षवदेव न चान्यं विनेहं रेषादपीह इदं देव पूर्णता गोपालबालं सदा मे मनस्य वीरास्तं किमन्यै इदं ते मुखाम्बोजम् अत्यन्तनीलै वृतं कुन्तलै स्निग्धरक्तश्च गोप्य मुहुश्चुम्बितं बिम्बरक्तधरं मे मनस्या विरास्तामलं लक्ष्यलाभै नमो देवदामोदरानन्त विष्णो प्रसीद प्रभो दुःखजालाब्धिमग्नं कृपादृष्टिवृष्ट्यादिदीनं बतानु गृहग्निशमामज्ञमेधशीदृश्य कुबेरात्मजौ बद मूर्त्यैवयत्वत् त्वया मुचितौ भक्तिबाजौ कृतौ च तथा प्रेमभक्तिं स्वकामे प्रयच्छ नमो क्षेग्रहो मेऽस्ति दामोदरेह नमस्ते सुदाम्ने स्फुरदीप्तिदाम्ने त्वदीयोदरायात विश्वस्य दाम्ने नमो राधिकायै त्वदीयप्रियायै नमो नन्दलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यं हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 Shri Shri Yashoda Damodar ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Damodar ki jai.
Hare Krishna, everyone. So I hope that you're able to offer your lamp or arti during the Damodarashtakam. So I'm just going to request a little kirtan, a little bit more time, or what the difficulty that we're facing right now is that we are out of capacity on Zoom. So Maharaj is unable to join. So if anybody's like nearby and can share, or like if you're like have two devices in your home, if you could just share one just so that we can allow Maharaj to come in, and I'm trying to increase the capacity so that more people can join. Okay. Thank you. I'm going to try to fix this, but okay. So maybe we can have just a little kirtan while I try to fix this. Do we have any volunteers that would like to sing? Okay, Vaishnavi Mataji. Yes, if you could just log onto one device. Just have, instead of two devices, just have one, like logged onto Zoom. Like if anybody would like to lead kirtan. Satyabhama and Krishna Lila? Okay, and then I'll give you a thumbs up. Oh, and then I'll just call Maharaj can join now, just so you can sing until Maharaj joins. Or yeah, I'll let you know. Okay.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jadababa Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jadababa Girivaradhari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jadabala Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jadabala Girivaradhari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Haribol. Thank you so much for the kirtan. So what is happening is that, yes, our Zoom capacity has reached full. So I'm really sorry for the inconvenience, but so that Maharaj can join the Zoom, I'm requesting everyone, I have to end the meeting and then you can all join back because we have to do some changing in the settings. So please don't leave. Please still stay online. So I'm just going to end the meeting and then you can join back. Okay, I hope everybody understood that. Can I have a thumbs up or something on? Okay. Okay, Haribol. So please join because we need Maharaj to come back. We need Maharaj to join. So I'm going to end the meeting and then join as soon as it's ended. Okay, Hare Krishna. Able to join and he's with us. Just going to spotlight Maharaj so that everyone can see him. So thank you so much, Maharaj, for blessing us with your association. And all the devotees are very excited to hear from you. And personally, you're such a great inspiration for me. And I believe so many of us with your love for the holy name. And I personally think you're the most ecstatic, beautiful dancer in ISKCON. So hopefully we can dance like you and sing like you and learn about how to love the holy name just like you do, Maharaj.
Okay. My obeisances to everyone. Omagyanti Mirandasya Ginajana Salakaya Chaksun Noitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine. Nirvitesa Sunyavadi Yatadesitane. Panchakalpa Turubhija Sindhu Paevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaho Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare. My obeisances to everyone. It is explained that out of all of the activities that make up the process of devotional service to Krishna, the chanting of the holy name is foremost. This chanting of the holy name is coming directly from the spiritual world. Although it is delivered by the great souls, the spiritual masters, the great saints, they receive that mercy directly from the Lord through the power of their devotional service. So it says, Golokira Premadana Harinam Sankirtan, that this chanting of the holy name is not part of this material world. It's coming directly from Goloka Vrindavan, the spiritual home of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One who chants the holy name of the Lord becomes very dear to the Lord. And Lord Chaitanya, he is Krishna himself. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nahiyonya. That this Lord Chaitanya is Krishna in disguise of his own devotee. And he is in the mood of his internal energy, Srimati Radharani. From that position, he is practicing and at the same time teaching the importance of chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So this chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is, it is called the Yuga Dharma. In every age, there's a particular means by which one can reach perfection in spiritual life. There are 4 ages: Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and ultimately we are now what is called Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga is the most degraded or materialistic of all of the ages of mankind. But in each of the age, there's a recommended means by which one can free themselves from the suffering of material life and connect directly with the Supreme Lord in devotion. So in this age, it is the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra let's see here. Something is happening here. Can you still hear me?
Maharaj, we can hear you.
Okay, something just happened. This chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is the way to purify the heart. The heart is associated with the mind, the living entity in the material world, has been associating with material energy, life after life. And it's explained that this is not our first life. And in previous lives, we've been associating with material energy in different bodies, in different realms of spiritual existence, material existence, in higher planets, in lower planets, and now in middle planets, the Earth planet. And so the purpose of human life is to awaken our natural attraction and devotion to the Lord. And so in this age, the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is not the recommended means, it is the means itself. It goes beyond recommendation, because those who seriously and regularly take up this chanting can connect with Krishna directly. This transcendental sound vibration opens up our relationship with Krishna through transcendental sound. Krishna, the Supreme Lord, manifests himself in different features of himself. He comes in his deity form. He comes in the form of transcendental knowledge, such as Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. He also comes as the representative of himself as the spiritual master. But his most powerful and direct manifestation of himself, in particular in this age, is the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. This chanting is very easy. One should simply sound the name Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And the process for development is the process of hearing as we chant the holy names of the Lord. The mind is restless. The mind is called chanchala. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains to Arjuna that the mind is very restless. But one can practice and control the mind through the power of transcendental sound. And that ultimate sound vibration is Krishna in the form of his holy name. So if we carefully sound the mantra, each of the words of the mantra, and very carefully listen, we enter into a state of meditation on the holy name. That meditation actually brings one directly in contact with Krishna through sound. So this chanting is easy, but it requires some effort in order to develop it. So one should practice this chanting more and more. One who chants the holy name of the Lord becomes recognized by the Lord and receives the special mercy of the Lord. What does that mercy mean? That means that the mercy is that one can experience the presence of the Lord through sound vibration. As we mentioned, the Lord comes in different forms. But in this age, the most powerful, direct, and most effective spiritual form is transcendental sound, which is his holy name itself. So one should chant. And of course, the spiritual master directs and gives guidance on how best to chant. That chanting, it has to be practiced daily. So it's easy. There's two aspects to the chanting. One is called japa, and one is called kirtan. Japa means individual, by oneself. One is chanting on beads, and one is it's a personal meditation. And then there is kirtan. Kirtan means to congregational, with a larger number of people, sing the glories of the holy name and respond to the chanting of the holy name through the process of singing. This is called kirtan, and kirtan is so spiritually effective that immediately when one enters the kirtan, one can experience the happiness of the presence of the Lord through his holy name. It's very powerful. So we have to practice. There's no rules, there's no regulations, there's no restrictions, there's no time limitations. Anyone can chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. It doesn't require any type of material qualification, but one has to practice this chanting. And as we practice it, we actually develop it. As we develop it, we can experience it. As we experience it, the situation is we actually become peaceful and happy. And as that happiness increases through the chanting of the holy name of the Lord, we gain transcendental knowledge of the nature of the Lord and his relationship with each and every living entity. So this chanting is easy, but it requires some practice. Do not ever get discouraged if you find yourself chanting and there's no real experience. It means you need to practice more. That's all. Keep chanting and keep practicing the hearing process. The mind has a tendency to wander. The mind is called chanchala. Chanchala means flickering. It goes this way, it goes that way. But always bring it back to the sound. The sound is the anchor by which the mind can be controlled. So chant and hear. Don't be in a hurry to chant, but chant nicely with attention on the hearing process, like that. And when you chant together with other devotees, then it becomes more effective because you receive the mercy of the mood of congregational chanting, and that makes it more and more powerful in our chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. The scriptures and the teachings of the spiritual masters are full of statements in glorification of the chanting of the holy names of the Lord. It says that out of all of the process, this is the supreme means for self-realization and the means to actually attain Krishna's association in the spiritual world. So we have to practice that. The acharyas have given the statement that anyone who wants to become initiated in the process of devotional service takes shelter of a spiritual master, work under the spiritual master's guidance. The first principle is to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra 16 rounds on beads. The beads have 108 beads on each round is 108 beads. And we chant 108 times, and that's one round, and 16 a round is something like 27,726,000 names. So this chanting is nice. Once one starts to practice it, one starts to experience real happiness and peacefulness. Peacefulness will come first, and then happiness comes. So practice this more and more. Give it, and the best way to emphasize the quality of our chanting is to chant early in the morning. Usually we put chanting as the first thing in our morning after we wake up and do our personal needs and get ready, and we sit down and we chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. The morning time is conducive, as opposed to the rest of the day, more conducive for the practice of spiritual life, because the atmosphere is more or less free from the activities of our daily life. So practice that chanting early in the morning. And if you are initiated, of course, you have to do 108 rounds. I'm sorry, you have to do 16 rounds, but one can chant any amount of numbers of beads. There's no number required unless one accepts initiation. Then you have to chant 16 rounds. That is a requirement. And the more you chant, the more you actually become good at the process of chanting. As they say, practice makes perfect. And go to kirtans when there is congregational glorification of the holy name, and that energizes the soul. uplifts one's consciousness to the spiritual world. And when one becomes very happy in chanting, and one actually is inspired to dance. Dancing is an expression of happiness. So when we're chanting nicely, we actually want to actually express that happiness in the form of dancing. So chant, dance, and be happy. That is the process of Krishna consciousness. It's very easy, direct, but it requires some attention. It requires some priority in our life. We want to get the benefit of the holy name, we should make the chanting our most important activity throughout the day. And read, especially in the second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, from second canto, first chapter, verse number 11, verse number 12, gives a very complete description of the chanting of the holy name and the things we have to avoid in any development of any skill. There's things to do and there's things to avoid. So I think in chanting of the holy name, there are what is called things to avoid, such as they're called offenses to the holy name. And that will be described in detail in the Srimad Bhagavatam, what are those offenses. But if we want to get free from offenses, the most important aspect is try to chant attentively, hear nicely, focus on the hearing process. When you hear nicely, you will chant nicely. When the hearing is not clear, then the chanting will not be as effective as it would be if you were hearing nicely. So practice the hearing process. Don't be in a hurry. It is a wonderful way to connect with Krishna in devotional service. And there are those who like to chant, and they actually chant more and more every day. They make the chanting not just limit to the number of rounds, but they just chant, and chant. So it's so nice. In our sampradaya, in our lineage of great souls, there's one person called Srila Haridas Thakur. He is called Namacharya. He teaches the process of chanting of the holy name. We can also pray to our spiritual teachers. We can pray to Krishna. We can pray to Lord Chaitanya. And we can specifically pray to Srila Haridas Thakur to give us the mercy of the holy name. And when our prayers are sincerely offered, the benefit will immediately come like that. What is that benefit? It will be enthusiastic and very successful in chanting and hearing very nicely. So this is the process of Krishna consciousness. Take it up and you'll understand everything. And when you chant nicely, you'll understand the philosophy better. When you chant nicely, your relationships with other devotees and people in general will become very nice and very uplifting. In other words, you'll make many friends and you'll also feel happy in the association with others. And when you chant nicely, you will also have to deal. Of course, we live in this world. This is a world of difficulty. There are many obstacles. There are many things that cause us suffering in this world. But if we're connected with the chanting of the holy name, then we're somewhat protected from and not affected by these difficulties that come by living in this world. Difficulties that come from higher powers, such as weather conditions, the difficulties that come by way of our own body and mind, difficulties that come in relationship to other living entity. All of these are mitigated and ultimately destroyed through the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. This is the direct process. Practice it. And Srila Prabhupada, the spiritual master of the Hare Krishna movement, has emphasized the importance of chanting the holy name above all of the other activities of devotional service. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. If you have some more time, then we have a few questions.
Sure.
So here, Lehar is saying, Hare Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj, I usually see chanting as a task to complete. How can my perception change towards chanting so that I relish it?
Well, we should be grateful to the fact that we have the opportunity to chant. So a sense of gratefulness inspires us to think, well, the holy name has come by way of the spiritual teachers, and this chanting is the means by which we can experience happiness and self-realization. So if we enter into the chanting with a negative attitude, then that negative attitude will start to carry our consciousness away from the actual happiness that we can experience in the holy name. Wanting to finish means to complete a certain number of rounds. So set aside some time, and within that time, don't do anything else. And when the time is up, then you can stop chanting and go on to something else. But if you're in a hurry, you're telling Krishna in the form of the holy name, I really want to get done so I can do something else. That is not the mood of chanting. We want to be with Krishna in the chanting of the holy. We want to experience his presence through the holy name. So we should think, oh, this is so wonderful. I feel so happy and so grateful that I can have the opportunity to chant. So let me chant. I'll put some time aside for chanting. I won't do anything else. And don't worry, if you have a positive mood, you'll find that it becomes easier to chant rather than thinking, I have to rush through, I have this everything to do. But set aside some quality time and don't do anything else during that time but chant. You have to kind of program your mind and don't allow your mind to take you into the mood of, well, I have to finish. Because it's not about trying to finish, it's about trying to connect with Krishna. If we do it out of duty, that's one thing. That's okay. But when you do it as a means for pleasing Krishna, because Krishna is pleased when devotees chant his holy name. So we should also think in that way too. I want to chant in such a way that Krishna will be pleased with my chanting. It goes beyond duty. Some people are saying that they get distracted. Well, when you get distracted, then bring your mind back to the sound. The mind will wander. Arjuna spoke to Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita saying to control the mind is like controlling the wind. And Krishna agreed with him, but he said practice, that's all. So when the mind takes you into another thought process, just be aware of it and bring it back to the sound. It's hearing and chanting. This hearing process is the complete process of the chanting. It becomes a meditation in the sound on the sound vibration. The mind wanders, bring it back. The mind wanders, bring it back. If you're a parent and you're trying to deal with a child, and you keep telling the child to do it and do it and do it, you don't give up because the child wants to do whatever it wants to do, because you know the benefit for the child is to do what is important. So as a parent, you keep instructing the child, guiding the child back to what it's supposed to do. So in the same way, our mind is very flickering. It has a tendency to wander. Just keep bringing it back to the sound. Never get discouraged. Consider it a chance to develop your relationship with Krishna through this effort of hearing. Practice the hearing process nicely. Don't get discouraged and don't be in a hurry. Don't play beat the clock japa. Don't play cell phone japa. This is another thing that can distract us. We put our cell phones away, put it on either silent mode or shut it off completely. The cell phone is a very formidable enemy of the process of chanting. For that time you're chanting, just don't look at messages, don't look at this phone, just chant. Keep the phone away. Personally, when I wake up, I check to see what messages are there, and then I shut the phone off, and then when I'm done chanting, I go back and deal with the messages. So it's something that we have to do in order to stay free from distraction. The cell phone is one of the greatest enemies of japa.
Yes, I agree, Maharaj. I mean, we're getting lots of questions.
I saw one question about chanting while walking. Yeah, but sitting and walking is also allowed. But when you walk, you have to also be aware of where you're walking and how to maneuver. So you might find it a little bit hard to concentrate at the same time walk. But you can practice that. I like to walk also, but I've been doing it for many years, so I have a way of walking and not getting distracted. And you have to be careful not to look around and focus on the objects that are around you while you're walking. Keep your consciousness connected to the sound. One of the ways to do that is to look at the ground when you're walking instead of looking around. If you look at the ground and there's nothing to see down there. That way you can continue to walk and chant.
Someone was also asking, how can we prioritize chanting but also include hearing or reading Srila Prabhupada's books?
Well, again, it's a matter of scheduling it in. Just like just like after you finish your chanting, then immediately go to the Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada's books, especially Srimad Bhagavatam, and take time to hear or read. You can also hear the classes given by Srila Prabhupada or his representatives. And you can also read the Srimad Bhagavatam. If you want to read, you have to schedule it. If you want to chant, you have to schedule it. If you're looking for time, you're just thinking whenever the time is available, time will not be available because the mind will always tell you there's something else to do. So you have to schedule it. Just like when you go to work, you have to be there at a certain time, you have to perform activities at a certain time, and you leave at a certain time. And when you go to school, it's the same system. So we just have to somehow or other schedule it. It has to be part of our daily activities in a scheduled way. If you feel a little sleepy, then get up and walk around. That's one way to overcome the sleepiness when you're chanting. Yay. Let's see, I'm seeing different chats are coming up here, but they're coming up so fast I can't even read them.
We're getting like some basic, like general questions, like how to get more taste for Harinam, and
well, reading Bhagavatam will help you give taste. Associating with devotees and serving devotees will also help bring about a taste for chanting. Make sure you get enough rest. If you're tired in the morning, it makes chanting very difficult.
Oh, and Maharaj, you were mentioning a few some verses from the second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So I think
Yeah,
references.
second canto, first chapter, verse number 11 and verse number 12, both focus completely on chanting. And there are many others throughout the entire Bhagavatam. There are many that are simply dedicated to chanting, but these two are very long discussions on the process of chanting.
Thank you for sharing. Yeah, a few devotees were asking, and I'll share it on our group chat so that they can read them later.
You can do chanting at night, but you'll find it a little bit more difficult. The best time is to chant in the mornings. You can chant anytime, but it's easier and more natural to chant in the morning hours. The night hours, the mind is still so full with the activities of the day. You may also be doing so many things in the evening, it becomes more difficult to chant in the evening time. But there's no rules, you can chant anytime.
And yeah, also like how to be consistent. Is it okay to chant and count their beads?
Mm-hmm. Someone asked me, there's someone who can't hear. They are obviously deaf. There are groups who are within our society who teach people how to chant who can't hear. People who are they have the defect of being deaf. You have to do a little research and find these groups. They also teach people how to chant also. How to know the right time for getting initiation? Well, the idea is to hear from different spiritual teachers and see which spiritual teacher inspires you the most in devotional service, and approach that person and tell them, please give me shelter, give me guidance, and then you can work under his direction. There are many persons you can hear from. Choose that person who inspires you the most. You can chant anytime, any place, anywhere, but we have a regular japa time where we have our prescribed number of rounds. That should be done on beads and as early as possible. How to make our family devotee family? They say that those who pray together stay together. So bring the family together, have bhajans, have kirtans, talk about Krishna, go to the temple together, do things with the family together.
And Marge, we have a question that if we're chanting and suddenly a service comes up, should we prioritize service or chanting? Because when we're chanting, we're asking for service.
Well, if we have a choice, then we have to decide what's more important at the time. If certain services cannot wait, if there's a particular service you have to do, then that should be the priority. But generally, if it's something that you can do at any time, then I would prioritize the chanting at that time. You have to see if it's needed at that moment. If it is, then best if you do that service and then go back to your chanting later.
And
you can read the Bhagavatam before you read before Bhagavad Gita. Yes, you can do that. these books, Bhagavatam is more developed in transcendental knowledge than the Gita. Gita is preliminary knowledge, but both are important. But it's not that you have to read one or the other. You can read them both. You can serve your spiritual master when he's not there by following his instructions.
Also, somebody was asking, I'm not able to go to the temple, or for those people that do not live near the temple, we also have some, actually some children here or some adults that their families are not devotees. So they're asking, how can we get devotee association?
Well, how can you get devotee association? Let's see. Let me see here. Let me go to. How can we get devotee association? Just go, if you can't go to the temple, call up your friends and get association on the phone. Get it on that's one way. But if you want devotee association, you can always find it. It's everywhere.
That's a good point, Maharaj. And now with Zoom and online, we can associate and hear also classes on YouTube, hear from you.
Yeah, there's so many ways to associate. We have 315 people online now. I was up to 339 at one point. Is it compulsory to chant loudly? The most important thing is to hear. If you're chanting softly, but you're not hearing, you won't get the benefit of chanting. You have to chant loud enough where you can hear. That's the point. How to distribute books, how to become enthusiastic in distributing books. Well, the more you read the books, the more you understand how valuable these books are, and that will inspire you to distribute books. Can we talk while chanting? No. That you can't do. Chanting means chanting. It's between you and Krishna.
Maharaj, could you kindly share whether Sankirtan or congregational chanting is more potent than personal japa or solo kirtan?
Lord Chaitanya taught the process, and he did both. He did personal chanting, and he also did Sankirtan. So you can't say, I'm going to do one without the other. You have to do both. And personal chanting is required. It seems like kirtan in the temples or in kirtan programs is a choice. But unless you tend to the kirtans also, your chanting won't develop much beyond a certain point. So we have to do both. It's like if you have a disease, you can take a very mild medicine, or you can take a very strong medicine. Both medicines are effective. So both are needed. The chanting on beads, because it's the instructions of the spiritual teachers. We have to chant on beads. And kirtan is the means for self-realization in this age. It's the Yuga Dharma. We must do both.
Maharaj, we have a question from Karuna, one of our, we could say, Bhakti kids. Maybe I'm going to ask her if she wants to ask her question in person. Karuna? I think she's 12 years old now.
Yeah, okay, she's there.
Hare Krishna. So my question is, so sometimes, because we live in Lebanon, so we don't have quite of a community. So sometimes I get a bit discouraged because or preaching doesn't quite work out. So how can I encourage myself?
Do you have some friends that you can talk to and chat with?
We have our family. That's
Just
about it.
that's the whole thing, just you and the family?
Yeah, we're the about it.
Well, your family is also devotees. They like to chant. Chat with your family like that. I'm sure there are other people in Lebanon also who are devotees. You have to maybe find out where they are. I know Lebanon is not an easy place to live. I mean, it's can be very difficult to practice Krishna consciousness in certain places. But do your best, connect with people and bring people together, have little meetings amongst yourself, chant, have prasadam, read the scriptures and discuss the scriptures. You just have to make plans to bring people together. That's all.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Do any of the kids have questions that you'd like to ask Marge? You can raise your hand. So kids up to, I guess we could say age, yeah, 18, just want to.
Okay, just give me another question. I'm ready. Radhika's there. We have Shilpa also. Darshita.
Okay, we have lots of questions.
These are all people with raised hands. So go ahead, Garangi, choose someone.
Okay, Vaishnavi. You have to, yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaji.
Hare Krishna.
So I wanted to ask, I does not have any mala, so can I chant on my hand?
I wasn't able to hear clearly that question.
Like she doesn't have japa mala. Can she chant on her hands?
Can you get japa mala?
Which type of?
It shouldn't be hard to get japa mala, but if you find it impossible, you can chant on your hands, but it's better to have the mala because the mala gives you the sense of touch. When you're chanting, you're using your ear, you're using your tongue, and then when you're fingering the beads, you're using your touch. So 3 senses are engaged. So beads help concentration more. But if you can't find beads or you can't get beads, I don't really understand why. It should be available everywhere. Even if you find some beads that are not japa beads, but they're beads, you can turn them into japa beads. Devotees do that. Sometimes people have a necklace with different beads on the necklace. You can use that for chanting.
If you want Vaishnavi, we can help you. Maybe if you email us, we can help you connect to a local temple or send you a mala or something. We can try to help you.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it's okay, thank you. And I'll give it to Yash. I think he's like 7 years old, boy.
Haribo Yash.
Once again. Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Jai Ho.
Maharaj, I have a question it is like something else. I am trying to preach my best friend in my class. So how can I preach him?
Tell him that Krishna is your best friend.
The best friend in my class, I want to preach him, but it is very hard to preach him.
Just tell him Krishna is your best friend. Why are you forgetting your best friend? He's there. He's always with you. He loves you, but you're forgetting about your best friend. So tell him to practice chanting. Tell him that if you chant these names of God, you'll be happy.
Okay, Maharaj. Thank you, Maharaj.
Yeah, and tell them, just you say, look at me, I'm so happy. I'm happy because I'm chanting. So if you chant, you'll be happy too.
Okay, Maharaj. I have told him many benefits, like if you do chanting or Deepdan in the Kartika, so you will get so much benefits, but he is not getting reached.
Yeah, give him some prasadam then, that'll help him.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Okay.
We have, there was another, Radhika.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. So I had a question about initiation. So like, for how much time do we have to continue 16 rounds to get initiation? And
Well, if you're chanting 16 rounds, you're getting ready to become qualified to become initiated. So time period can be, there's no special time period. When you're seriously practicing your chanting and you're also doing some seva, then you can find a spiritual master and then take shelter of him and say, I want to become your disciple, please guide me.
yeah, and my second question was that sometimes, because there are studies also, it gets a little difficult to handle your japa, your seva, your bhakti with your material studies and everything.
Yeah, well, you have to make time. The thing, if you chant, studies can be later in the day. Chanting is early in the morning. So don't sleep too late. Get up early and chant.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Raj, I know that you probably have to go soon, and there's still a lot of questions. Maybe you can choose, or
I'm here. I'm good for another 20 minutes at least.
Oh, okay, perfect, Marge. Thank you so much. We'll try to get through as many questions as possible. Okay, so Shilpa. Oh, I don't know what happened. Okay, Daksha Bajaj.
Hare Krishna Maharaj,
You have to increase your volume, Daksh.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandat Pranam. Am I audible?
Very soft.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandat Pranam. Am I audible now?
Better, but it's still a little low.
Okay. Maharaj, I've heard many times in Amoghila Prabhuji's lecture that if our body cuts and the blood flow starts, that Ekadashi is considered to be broken. Is it also applicable on Bhishma Panchaka?
What does it say? If your body does what?
If our body cuts and the blood flow starts, blood flow.
Oh, they say that breaks the Ekadashi. That's why you're not shouldn't do any hard work on Ekadashi that would cause that to happen. But that doesn't apply to Bhishma Panchaka.
Okay, and Maharaj, I know some of the mudras which we can perform during Aarti and etc. And I'm not initiated like Brahman initiated nor Haidam initiated. Can I perform during my altar, during my deity's altar seva in my home?
Certain mudras, you were saying?
What Maharaj?
Mudras or mantras?
Mudras and some mantras also.
Well, depends which mudra and mantra you want to chant. You can chant Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavindam. And chant the pranam mantras of the spiritual master. And chant the names of the deities. These are all authorized chanting. Mudras, we don't really get involved with mudras so much. Uh, Mudras are used sometimes in deity worship when you're on the altar with the deity itself. But outside of that, we don't really get involved with mudras.
Okay.
I don't know any of the mudras anyway. Krishna, when he holds his flute and he's putting his fingers in a certain position holding his flute, that's a mudra also.
Okay, man. Thank you so much.
So,
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisance until the speak. Maharaj,
where are you? You're Darshita?
yes, Maharaj, I'm from
Okay.
Ujjain.
Oh, okay. Ujjain. Wow. Okay.
Maharaj, I had one question that how to deal with the sufferings and the physical challenges one is having and still have a strong faith in the holy name. And
I think you broke up a little bit, so I couldn't hear your question. Can you repeat?
yes, Maharaj. Maharaj, my question was that how to deal with the physical challenges and the physical sufferings one has and still have faith in the holy name, strong faith in the holy name.
Well, I mean, as long as we have a material body, there are going to be some challenges. The body gets sick, the mind gets disturbed. We have to learn to deal with these and tolerate them. We shouldn't give up our chanting. In fact, by continuing our chanting, we can get past all of these disturbances. So, living in the material world means disturbances. It comes automatically. You just have to either tolerate it or somehow continue in your practice of devotional service and become spiritually strong where they don't disturb you. Tolerate it. Okay, anyone else? We got a whole list. I see about 8 more hands up there.
Hare Krishna, Dhanvat Pranam Maharaj.
Where are you?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
I can't see who's talking. Is it Silpa? Shilpa?
Yes, Maharaj. Yes,
Okay.
Maharaj.
Okay.
Maharaj, my question was is to you. How can a soul become detached from material desires and expectations that one has, and not be distracted by the things that are happening around us?
Well, desire is life. We can't give up desire, but we can change desire from material desire to spiritual desire. So, desire to serve Krishna, desire to eat only prasadam offered to Krishna, the desire to associate with devotees. The activities of devotional service they're also performed for that spiritual desire, not material desire. So material desire doesn't give us satisfaction. Spiritual desire makes us happy. Change your desire from material to spiritual. That's all. Forget about doing things on a material level and use your time and energy and your intelligence to do things on the spiritual practice. That's all. Stop this, do this. Well, you might say it's not so easy, but the more you practice the spiritual, the more the material becomes less effective, doesn't bother you so much. As the spiritual becomes stronger, the material becomes weaker.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Bo.
Maharaj. Maharaj, my question was that I would like to more and more distribution and teaching. So how can I more and more do, Maharaj?
This is Rudra speaking.
Yes, Maharaj.
Maharaj, I was speaking that
What is, I
I
didn't
like
catch,
to distribute.
catch the question. Garangi, what did he say?
Wait, Rudra, can you please repeat the question? We couldn't hear properly. Oh, it seems like he's not. Rudra? Oh, we can't hear him.
I think his
Yeah,
connection is a little weak.
yeah, maybe we'll get back to him. So now we can have Irit.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Maharaj, my question was that I want to chant every single day in a consistent way. But with these exams, I can't chant consistently, and also my focus on my chanting is not very good because I'm always thinking about my tests and stuff. How do I get out of this?
Just practice. If somebody's chasing you, you have to run away in such a way as not to get caught. So if these material things that keep chasing you, you have to get out of it somehow by taking shelter of Krishna, taking shelter of chanting. That's all. We have a habit of doing material things. We have to create a habit for spiritual activities. They say habit is replaced by habit. Create a spiritual habit and get rid of your material habit.
Okay. Thank you, Maharaj.
Haribo.
Okay, I think Rudra is back now.
He's on mute though.
I'm unmuting him. Rudra, you have to.
Now he's clear. Nice and loud, Rudra.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Hare Krishna Maharaj. Hare Krishna Maharaj. My question was that Hare Krishna.
Go ahead.
We hear you.
Maharaj, my question was that tips for the book distribution and preaching. How can I do more and more to in public place?
You want to know how to increase your book distribution?
Yes, he was asking for tips for book distribution and preaching for the public.
Well, you should understand that you're just a messenger from Krishna and the spiritual master. You're bringing this very important knowledge to the people, and therefore you should understand how important it is to get out there and give this message in the form of these books to others. You're a messenger. The knowledge is not coming from you. You're delivering the message of Krishna. You're delivering the message of the great saints into the minds of these people. So feel happy that you have this opportunity to be a messenger to give this knowledge to others. And that way you'll be enthusiastic to do it. If you just think it's something I have to do, then it won't be as easy but all right, I'm out there. These people need some knowledge. I have it, but it's not my knowledge. It's coming from Krishna. So let me do my best to reach these people. So be friendly and be enthusiastic, because if you're not enthusiastic when you're out there, people won't listen to you. Okay, I can only take one more question and then I have to depart. So choose someone.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Danvat Pranam. I'm Madhura.
Okay.
So I am a student residing on campus, and I'm miles away from a temple. And my question to you is like, we don't have, I don't get devotee association here. I'm not near to a temple. So it sometimes gets very difficult to stay motivated in sadhana. Like looking back into this Kartik month, I feel like I could have done so much better. I could have woken up consistently at 4 a.m. But then seeing my friends sleep, I sometimes get demotivated. So how should I stay motivated when I'm not around with any devotees or I don't have any devotee association?
Call them up on the phone and talk to them.
I do that sometimes, Maharaj.
That helps. And talk to Garangi, she'll help you.
Yes, Maharaj, definitely.
She wants to help everybody. So just say, Garangi, talk to me. And she'll fill you up with more than you can handle.
Surely, Maharaj, I'll try that.
Yeah, we use associations available. You have to just go for it. That's all.
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Good luck.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Maharaj.
I'm sure you can succeed.
Thank you so much for your blessings.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So unfortunately, I have another program coming, so I need to end here.
Thank you so much, Maharaj, for taking so much time from your schedule and answering our questions and blessing us with your association.
You have a wonderful group. It's amazing how many people came.
They all came to hear from you, Maharaj, and even the capacity was full. That's how many wanted to hear from you.
Yeah, that was nice. That's the first time I've ever experienced that.
Hopefully, Maharaj, we can do more programs and we can receive your association more regularly.
Good, good. Continue with your programs, and if you have another opportunity and you want to, you can always ask me again.
Oh, I'll be so happy and honored to have you again, Maharaj.
Thank you, Garangi, and thank you to all the devotees out there. And no matter what difficulties you are undergoing, just keep chanting, and Krishna will do everything to bring you out of the difficulties and bring you back to him. So just keep chanting, chanting, chanting. Never give up the chanting.
Please bless us, Maharaj, that we can develop taste for chanting and love Krishna.
Jai Ho. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna. So I'm so happy to have all of you here. Thank you so much. And please join us tomorrow. I know that our sanghas are going on a bit longer than scheduled, but we can't miss out on the opportunity of these devotees association. So if you can't make it for the full sangha, then you can just watch it on YouTube later. It's Bhakti Kids CDM. And on the WhatsApp channel, we're also sharing the YouTube links and all the other information, a guide, how to offer arti. So just reminder again, today, good luck, everyone. We did day 1 of the Bhisma Panchaka Challenge, and tomorrow starts our fasting. So it's Ekadashi. It's recommended to fast on Ekadashi and then continue the fast. But for example, here in Mayapur, we fast till noon for Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj's disappearance day, and then we have prasadam at like 2 p.m. So just you can find more details in the manual according to the level, Havisha, or the fruits and roots. And yes, good luck for your fasting. And please join us tomorrow. So tomorrow we have another very wonderful devotee joining us. We have His Grace Gauranga Darshan Prabhu. So he will discuss about the importance and the glories of hearing Krishna Katha. So today we heard about chanting, and tomorrow we'll hear about hearing. So I hope that you can finish. If you haven't finished your activities for today, you have some time now. And yes, thank you everyone so much for joining again. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Mataji,
Krishna.
Dalai Lama.
Thank you for so
Hare
beautifully. Thank
Krishna
you so much.
Mataji, thank you Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, ma'am.
Chandramauli Maharaj Ji, such a
Hare
beauty.
Krishna, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for this
Hare
opportunity.
Krishna, Guru
Hare
Maharaj.
Krishna
Pranam.
Vancha kalpataru veshwati pasindu bhakti
Hari
vichatitanam
Bol.
pavanebhyo vaishnaveभ्यो namo namaः. Anant koti vaishnava
Thank you
vrinda ki
so much,
jai.
Mataji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you,
Jagat
Prabhupada, for
Guru
lecture. Thank you,
Srila
Mataji.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you
Nitai
very
Gaur
much.
Premanande.
Hare
Hari Hari.
Krishna. See you
Hari
tomorrow.
Bol.
Hari Bol.
Okay.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.